Hey everyone, Tech with Tigre. I wanted to show you how to use a multi-track editor. Now, I'm just starting with Adobe Audition. I've used Adobe products before, but this is my first foray into using this. Before I've used GarageBand or ScreenFlow for doing editing, but I figured I use Adobe Creative Cloud and I get all the apps for the same price, so might as well use all these professional editing apps. Just takes a little bit of time to learn them. Hopefully, as I'm learning them, I can share what I'm learning with you so that you can use this to your benefit as well. So what I've got going, I'm actually just going to close this project right now because I want to start from scratch for you. What we're going to do is we're going to do a multi-track. Now I'm editing for Lola Pickett's podcast, Empath to Power. And the way that I like to do this is by going to multi-track. And we can just go 01 because the first episode, intro episode. I'm going to just browse, make sure I'm going to the right spot. Cool. We already had one created, but that's fine. We're going to choose a new one. Now I chose the template of podcast because that's what we're doing. So it figures easy. And multi-track is just when you're stacking multiple input sources. This may be a little too complex for what you need. So KISS, keep it simple, sexy as much as possible. But I like to geek out on stuff. Thanks for the export. Click OK. And you'll see that it has a predefined template for us where we have host, interview, sound effects, a music bed, master. Now, the way I like to learn things is I'm going through it. I don't have any audio background outside of what I've Googled, YouTubed, and just played around with. So, music bed, I'd be like, what is a music bed? So I go over to Google, type in music bed, audio editing, and I assume that means like the background laying of your theme music and whatnot if you're building this out from scratch. That's how I'd probably use it. So obviously sound effects is pretty straightforward. Cool thing about Adobe Audition that I really enjoy is being able to use the media browser, and that's kind of applies to After Effects and Premiere and all the different editing timeline files or software that Adobe has. It's really powerful, and I highly recommend you set it up, especially if you're going to be doing project after project. So right now, what I've got going on is I've set up my shortcuts, and the way to set up a shortcut is you just find the file. Like let's say I want users to be a shortcut, you just right click, add shortcuts. Really handy because now I have episodes set as a shortcut, my intro and outro audio, and the theme music. So I can jump to my stuff really quick. So let's jump into the intro episode. I find my WAV file. You'll see that noise print editing in my other video on my channel. So check that out if you want to figure out how to remove background noise, which is extremely helpful. So I just go, let's pop that onto, I'm gonna put it on the interview because this is a template. And what I want to do is there's no host really, but I'm just going to say my intro and outros are here. So I got my episode. Now I just jump over to my intro and outro. Go to intro, drag that up there, slide it over, go to outro. I'm going to jump all the way into my timeline, and I'm going to stick my outro right there. And then we just slide it. Now I know that this outro is a harsh cut, so as opposed to overlapping and doing a fade in, fade out, I'm just going to leave it like that. Cool thing with all these tracks is that you see this little icon. What that's allowing us to do is that we can do fade ins. And so you see it gives us a tooltip right here. I haven't played with this before, so if I hold down the Option key, I can hold down Command key to change the fade shape. So you just click and drag it to set the thing. Or if I didn't do that, you could right click and just click fade in. And so if you hold down Option, yeah, so we get some shape changes if we do that. So that's pretty cool. Hold down Shift to either fix duration or shape. Awesome. So we can do that. Now this one, let's fade out. I'm just gonna click fade out. So now this one, let's do a little bit of a fade out because we know that. Now I'm gonna jump all the way over here. So I'm gonna grab those two and jump us back to the beginning just to make sure that we're kind of fading in. And then this one, cool. Let's see how this works.
Welcome to the Empath to Power podcast, where through interviews, stories, and science, I help you of your sensitivity. Hello, loves. Welcome to the Empath to Power podcast, episode 1. I'm your hostess, Lola Pickett, and I am so excited to bring you stories, interviews, conversations.
Cool. So I've got these two setups. Now, what I may do, because she's kind of introducing it a second time right there, and I don't want to have you guys listen to both of these intros, is I'll probably actually maybe even take out that first intro and then start going into my theme music and then pulling in my intro here and actually doing that into the music bed there. It says it doesn't match the sample rate, so I just say okay, match the sample rate. So I could take this and kind of just lightly overlay that in there. So that's another option where I can start playing with this type of stuff. I can lower its decibel level so that we can not make it as loud. And that's how you start playing with a multi-track in Adobe Audition. You can obviously take it further, and I highly recommend just searching for help. Like if you needed to find how to do fade-ins, if you didn't know that little square did it, just poke around. You can't break it, save it, and then just keep trying again. So hopefully this was helpful. Thank you very much for watching Tech with Tigre. Subscribe below, and I'll be recording more tutorials and videos soon. Thank you.